Greetings, dear Scorpios. This one's for you. This is Tarot Illumination with part of a series for the Libra New Moon Solar Eclipse. Saturday, 14th of October, 2023. Tonight is the 13th of October, Friday the 13th. So anyway, about eclipses. This is a good example right here. I've been fortunate to witness this in my life twice. I had to use, one time I had a little pinhole camera that I made. The other time I used 3 pairs of sunglasses in a row. It worked, but it's amazing. It's an amazing thing to witness, and it's such a bizarre, freakoid piece of sacred geometry, whatever you want to call it. It just so happens that our little moon looks roughly the same size as our sun in the sky, even though the sun is like this big and our moon is this big. It's just because of the distance involved in the geometry. But anyway, so can you imagine back in mystical times, mythological times, 100,000 years ago, hominids were walking around and they see this thing like, oh my God, what the? Anyway, so the moon is coming along and there's the sun just doing its thing, and then wow, the moon is eclipsing the sun. The moon just eclipsed the sun. The sun was there, and then the moon moved itself in front and eclipsed the sun. Like the sun never existed. Uh-oh. Anyway, it came back. It's quite profound to witness. I hope you get to see it. I might have a chance to see it. The path will be across North America from Oregon, Nevada, Utah, a bit of Arizona, I think, and Texas. So I might have a good chance to see it. If I can, I will try and grab a shot. I might be able to get a pair of those special moon watching light glasses from the library. We'll see. Anyway, these are pretty rare events. I can't remember the dates. I don't have the dates in front of me of the latest ones for this or that, but it's kind of a big deal for everybody, for the whole world. It's all over the media. And there's going to be eclipse watching parties all over the world if they're in a place where they can see it. And then they'll put it on social media. But anyway, for eclipses in general, with the solar new moon eclipse, even with a full moon eclipse, I see it as an evolutionary gateway. I've talked about this many times over the years, where you're just puttering along, living your life, doopy 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 doo, and then you seem to end up in this like elevator type experience where you're going through one door, that door shuts behind you, and the elevator goes up, and it's just like, and the other door opens in front of you, and you go out that way. So it's an evolutionary leap. You're going from here to here to here. Life goes on. Life goes on from here to here. But this process of going from here to here is evolution. And people don't like it because it means having to change. It means having to adapt. In simple terms, it's evolve to survive. In crude terms, it's adapt or die. A lot of people don't want to do that. They want status quo. They want everything to be just cozy and nice, with everything working properly for them. No thinking allowed. Everything goes nicely on autopilot, your default settings. All you have to do is just live off of your conditioning and your default settings. But nature doesn't want us to do that. It wants us to evolve. And that's where it gets awkward. And eclipses assist us in that evolution by eclipsing things out of our lives that are no longer relevant, and clearing space for what is to come, which would be better for you. It's just sometimes uncomfortable. So for the Scorpios, this eclipse is happening in your 12th house. So that's a little bit awkward. The 12th house, we're dealing with the Neptune Pisces vibe, duality. What's up, what's down, what's real, what's not real, what's heaven, what's hell. What is love? What is the absence of love? The Neptune energy in its healthy expression, it's very, very hard to achieve. It's the essence of pure love. How would you define that? It's different for everybody. And then the tricky part is the absence of love. And a lot of people are hollow and absent by nature, perhaps because of conditioning, some by choice. Some people deliberately choose to abdicate love so that they can more easily grasp hold of what they think is much more satisfying here on earth. Things like power, money, and control. And then, in order to get all that power, money, control, having to behave and do despicable things to other people to get that power, money, and control. And that's not cool. But anyway, so we have to look at the duality of the 12th house. In a healthy expression, it's like divine inspiration. Like Einstein went into a dream state. He was a Piscean. Pisces ruled by Neptune. And he was asking for divine inspiration. I need to solve this problem. I can't do it on my own. Please, invisible friends, please help me. And then he had a bit of clairvoyance. E equals mc squared. Okay, I'm a genius. There you go. And so on. It's divine inspiration. Like art. Divinely inspired to do some kind of art or something like with music, like Beethoven, hearing the symphonies and then writing them down. That would be very Neptunian in very healthy, beautiful ways. But the shadow side is very, very sad. It's full of tragedy, sickness, betrayal, loss, abuse, perversion, death, karma, and at the very worst, evil. Pure evil. It's very sad. Anyway, let's have a look. So, dear Scorpios, like on the other videos, I'm putting you on the first house here. Your sun could be anywhere in there, or sun, moon, and rising could be anywhere in these 30 degrees. So this is just generalized, all right? So on a whole sign chart like this is your 12th house over here, okay? I'll put it closer up here. So there's another Terra Illumination Astrodoodle. This is the horizon, the house of self, the house of other. And this is your 12th house. This is the house of invisible enemies, hidden enemies, the house of self-undoing, like, alcoholics, drug addicts, fentanyl users, people who destroy themselves, suicides, all that kind of stuff. Let's get into it. So obviously you want a healthy 12th house energy, and whatever needs healing needs to be revealed for that to happen. So in the 12th house here, with the Libra vibes, we're looking at unhealthy, redundant default relationships that just need to be revealed so that they can be either removed or healed. And then there's another story here about the Aries North Node. So what are you going to do about that? So how are you going to do that? This would be the 6th house of taking action in terms of healing, like being a nurse to yourself. But that's a whole other storyline, not now. So let's get some keywords here. Healthy expressions. Let's say in your healthy expression, Scorpio, and you're really dialed into a super healthy 12th house. I'm not saying you have any aspects here or that you have a Libra. All I'm suggesting is that the eclipse is happening here right now in this part of your life, in your world. So buzzwords, keywords like love. How do you define that? Divinity, heaven, angels, ESP, extrasensory perception, mysticism, psychic impressions, remote viewing, remote healing, healing hands, alternative healing using the healing power of love, clairvoyance, clairaudience, clairsentience, clairsmelliance, divine inspiration, psychic phenomenon, the ideality of life. Everything's perfect and beautiful. Of course, it's very hard to maintain these super ultra high frequencies of human expression. So it's very easy to slip into this stuff. Sickness, hospitals, perversions, betrayals, lies, abuse, drugs, insanity, hidden enemies outside of you, lies, death, loss, karma. Okay, so it's a tough one. The 12th house, I believe, is the hardest one to understand and deal with. I've been doing astrology for a long time, and I try to dumb it down as simply as I can, but this is tough. Okay, no matter who you are. For everyone, the 12th house can be a serious challenge. Now, so let's distill all this again. So taking these keywords, let's put a question mark after all of these. Where in your life, in your world, are there redundancies in relationship dynamics, whether on this side of the duality or this side of the duality? Where? Because obviously you want to amplify and focus on the healthy expression, and sometimes the only way to do that is to heal the sickness. And so my perspective is that this eclipse will help you to identify default, automatic, let's say, conditioned relationship dynamics that have been there since birth that are starting to reveal themselves to be not healthy. Are you with the right person in the right place for the right reasons, and so on? Are you in the right town? Are you in the right frame of health? Are you in the right? Are you healthy? Are you looking after yourself properly? And you have really supportive relationships in your health? You know, do other people have your welfare and your health in mind? I'm very lucky. I have a very dear brother, and every now and again I've had to lean on him to help me deal with incredibly very, very, very bad health issues. But I'm alive to tell the tale. Some of it thanks to my brother. So I'm very, very, very lucky in that regard. All I'm suggesting, I'm pointing out how the 12th house relationship dynamics here are so important. So I hope some of this resonates with you. If you can think of what, mostly I don't want to force it, but I would focus on these particular keywords. And if you find that there's something is being eclipsed out of your life, and you're noticing relief, maybe like let's say you're an alcoholic, all right, and somebody intervenes and forcibly removes alcohol out of your life, and you go through a horrible withdrawal and you hate that person, but eventually you realize, wow, you know what? I feel much better now. I don't really want the alcohol anymore. And you realize that that person was actually loving you by going through the horrible process of intervening to help your miserable, drunken, alcoholic soul. That's just one example. And so you want to identify the unhealthy relationships with yourself or others in this world. Are you hanging out with druggies? Are you continuously attracting abusers because you haven't resolved your own abuse issues from childhood? Have you indulged yourself in perversions rather than try to heal yourself of the perversions that you were conditioned to express, and so on? Have you inherited some sicknesses that you could possibly improve with help of healthy relationships, and so on? I'm just trying to give examples. So, Scorpios, I hope this helps you. Please make the best of it. If you want to get deep into it at a very personal level, we can do that here. You come over to terraillumination.com. You can donate huge amounts of money over there. You can book a private reading. You can connect with me directly, and so on. We can schedule it and do it over the Zoom. Okay? Meanwhile, take care. Make the best of it. I hope you get a chance to see it. If so, let me know. Share the images or the story, whatever. Okay? Thank you very much. Have fun.